You guys get to go on a trip. The only catch is she's coming too. So here's today's story. Emily said that once they had their baby, it was right around the same time that her in-laws retired, and it just became so much. They show up unannounced all throughout the week to bring things over like dinner, helpful things that they noticed, we noticed that you needed more of this, so we're dropping it off, fixing things that they noticed were broken before, like on a previous visit. But it's all the time. So even though she has a boundary that she communicates, call before you come over, they'll listen for a couple weeks, but then they go back into just showing up unannounced, pushing themselves into their family dinners, family vacations, milestones, everything. And every single time they show up, it's like Emily's position in this family gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And again, she's like, my husband says he agrees, but at the same time, I can literally watch him just go back to being a child rather than standing firm and being a husband and a father. The other thing that really has Emily on high alert is that she's not ready, if ever, for her child to have a sleepover at Grandma and Grandpa's house. He's 1.5. She's just not ready for it. She has to continuously, ever since the day her son was born, she has to continuously fend off this request. Like, when can I have a sleepover? When can I have a sleepover? She's so done with this conversation. It's so annoying, but she's really getting resentful of her in-laws showing up all the time, and she's super resentful of her husband because he definitely does just slide back into that son role versus like sticking by her side as a husband. All right, so Emily, oh my gosh, this reminds me of a story we just covered with Megan and Drew on the podcast, and part number 2, because it was a 2-part series. Part number 2 is the one I would want you to watch. And it was the 5 conversations Megan had to have in order to stop disappearing in her life. Because that is what I feel is going to happen to you, because your in-laws are so pushy and your husband is not holding the line, that pretty soon it's just going to feel like you just are. Basically what I said for Megan was that when you're involved in an enmeshed family system, it's like you don't even realize that you're in that system until the walls are close enough to touch. And it feels so smothering and so overwhelming. So the first thing I would do is I would get with my husband and get on the same team. And that would mean, for me anyway, that would mean going to therapy. I would go to therapy not because we're broken, but because it is breaking. And you can feel the resentment that you're having towards him. And sometimes husbands, people in general, they just need a third party in the room to say, this isn't normal. This isn't fair to your significant other. That's what happened to me. So I was in my master's degree to become a therapist. And when I started talking about my dynamic with my mom, which was like I was the good daughter, when I started talking about the dynamic with my mom, I had all these therapists in training looking at me like I had 2 heads. Like, that's not fair to your husband. That's not fair to your children. Like, that's not even fair to you. And it took me having all these people from the outside that had nothing to gain to reflect back to me how unhealthy my dynamic was with my mom. And then I slowly started to untether, but it takes a long time. But I needed a neutral third person that had nothing to gain. Not my husband, just all these other people that had nothing to gain from me waking up and realizing that what I was doing wasn't cool. Like, it was fine when I was single and taking care of my mom and, being with her. But now that I actually had a family, I had to change because that dynamic didn't work anymore. In fact, it was hurting the people that I loved, including myself. So neutral third party to give him that permission. And then I would start minding my boundaries. So if it is no unannounced visits, no matter what they show up with in their hands, whether it's dinner or toilet paper or more diapers or whatever they are going to be so kind as to drop off, I would say, thank you so much. Now is not a good time. Do you think we could schedule something later this week? Show them that you're firm, like your boundary is, you need to call next time. Like, you need to call ahead. You need to let me know. You have to show them. A boundary isn't about more words. A boundary is action, and you need to start taking action. With the overnight talk, she can keep asking. You can't stop her from asking, and you can have the same response. I don't know when or if we'll be ready for overnights, but we're definitely not ready now. Just keep saying it over and over, and maybe she'll get sick of it, maybe she won't. And in terms of vacations, if she's handing you a vacation and the catch is she has to come with, I would make sure my husband says, this was so sweet and thoughtful of you, Mom, but when we go on a vacation, we definitely want that to be our little family connecting. And so you can say, we can either go on it without you, but if you prefer to come with us, we're going to have to decline the gift.